And get started. Feels like a good time. So everybody say goodbye to Daniel. And we're going to start in mountain at the top of our mat. So in mountain pose, I'd like you guys to face the top of your mat. Our feet are hip distance apart. And I want you to go ahead and close your eyes, pulling the shoulders back, and think about driving up through the crown of your head toward the ceiling. So our big goal here as we breathe in and out through the nose is focusing on really elongating through that spine, pulling the chest up so that it's reaching for the sky, and keeping our balance in all four corners of our feet. So taking a few breaths here, we'll go ahead and just establish our movement, breathing in as we reach up for the sky, gentle back bend, and then exhale coming through heart center, flat back, and forward fold. Just find whatever forward fold works for you right now. So you might be up here, you might be here, touching your feet, touching the floor, really whatever works. We're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time as we breathe in and reach for the sky again. And then we'll repeat that exhaling through heart center and down to a forward fold. Our bodies are variable, so inhaling up, you may find that you are much more flexible in a forward fold some days than others. This is pretty par for the course. It can depend on things like how much sitting you've done. When you reach the floor, inhale up. How much water you've had, exhaling down. What kind of workout you've done recently. So if you happen to do a bunch of deadlifts and RDLs, inhaling up, moving with your breath here, and exhaling down. You may find that you have got a lot of tightness in the hamstrings. So we're just trying to warm them up for today's practice. Inhaling up and exhaling down. One last time. Inhale up, reaching as high as you can. And as we exhale, we're going to fall to the right side, letting the left arm lean across us. Inhaling up, and exhale on the opposite side, letting the right arm fall overhead. And inhale up. Exhale, sitting back into our chair pose. Inhale, reaching for the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhaling up to a flat back, wherever that may be. And then exhale, taking the hands to the mat. Hop, step, or walk back, high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, Cobra or baby Cobra. So our thighs are on the mat. Curling the toes under, we'll exhale and push back into our first downward dog. Walking the feet in so that you've got a nice inverted V. Softening one knee and straightening the other. I'd invite you to take whatever movement you need here. So if it feels good to roll up through the spine, roll back, push up on the toes, just find what works for you today. Shift the weight on your hips from one side to the other. Exhaling fully, we'll then inhale up to a high plank, keeping a nice arch in the spine, and then exhale back, downward dog. Inhale, rolling up into that plank, high on the toes, and exhale, downward dog. Last one, we'll roll up into that plank, and exhale back, downward facing dog. Again, in our downward dog, our goal is to press our heels toward the floor. They don't have to touch the ground. And we want to drive our chest toward our thighs. Softening at the knees, take your gaze between the palms and hop, step, or walk to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan diving up, repeating where we started, hands go high to the sky. Exhale, Crescent Moon, falling to the right side, extending that left arm overhead. Inhaling up. Exhale, falling to the left side, extending right arm overhead, inhaling up. Exhale, sitting back into chair pose. Inhaling up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale up to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Softening the knees, we'll plant our hands again, hop, step, or walk back. High plank, and exhale to the floor. Inhale, this time, up dog, if you can, keeping the thighs off the mat, before pressing back into downward facing dog. Resetting your feet or your hands, making your downward dog a little more narrow. Using our core, we'll walk our palms to meet our feet for a forward fold at the back of our mat. And as we inhale, we'll repeat our opening sentiment, taking the hands up to the sky. Again, exhale, Crescent Moon, falling to one side, inhaling up. Exhale, Crescent Moon on the other side, inhaling up. And then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhaling up to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees and use the core to walk yourself back out through downward dog into that high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, up dog or Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Shifting the weight to the right foot, we'll inhale the left heel to the sky for three-legged down dog. Bringing it in through the chest and planting the foot between our palms. Sinking into that runner's lunge. Switching our weight, we'll move into a side lunge here. Before coming up through center, standing straddle split, and falling down on the opposite side for a runner's lunge. Switching your weight to the side, runner's lunge. We'll root into that left foot and take the right heel to the sky for a three-legged down dog. Bringing the knee into the chest. We'll plant the foot between the palms, runner's lunge. Opening up to the side for a low side lunge. Coming up through center, standing straddle split. Low side lunge on the left side. And then runner's lunge. Planting the palms, rooting through the right foot, take the left heel to the sky. Three-legged down dog. Opening up the hips to the side wall. Taking the gaze underneath the left armpit. Pointing the foot again, we'll bring the foot back through, rooting it between our palms. Runner's lunge, low side lunge. Standing straddle split, low side lunge, and runner's lunge on the right side. Rooting the hands in, pressing into the left toes, right foot finds the sky, three-legged down dog. Bending at the knee, we'll open up the hips, gazing underneath the right arm. Before pointing the toes and bringing that foot back down, runner's lunge. Low side lunge. Standing straddle split. Low side lunge, and then runner's lunge. Rooting through the hands, we'll take the left heel to the sky for three-legged down dog. Bending at the knee, opening up the hips, and then allowing that foot to fall as we reach into Wild Thing. Left hand returns to the mat, left foot to the sky. Three-legged down dog. Sweeping the foot through. Runner's lunge. Low side lunge. Standing straddle split. Low side lunge on the right side. Runner's lunge. Right foot forward. Rooting the hands. Right foot reaches the sky. We open the hips to the side wall and then reach with the right foot as we flip our dog. Coming out a wild thing, take the right hand to the floor and the right foot to the sky before bringing the foot in through the knee and rooting it between our palms. Shifting the weight. Low side lunge. Standing straddle split. Low side lunge. On the left side, runner's lunge. Rooting into the right toes, we'll take the left heel to the sky. Three-legged down dog. Pointing and flexing the foot, alternating. We'll bring the knee into the chest, rooting that left foot forward for a runner's lunge, before dropping the back knee down and uncurling the back toes. From here, pressing up into dragon pose. Our chest is high, our gaze is forward, our knee is stacked over the ankle, so if you need to walk the foot out to set yourself in that position, please do. Feeling that stretch in the outer right hip. If you'd like to add a quad stretch here, you can root into this knee and reach back, grabbing the right foot with the right palm, or with both palms. And releasing back foot. We'll move from dragon into lizard pose. So bringing our palms on the inside of the left foot. You can allow your left knee to fall outward so that you're on the outer blade edge of that left foot. You can see it. And then find the depth that's comfortable for you. So you might be up on the palms, you might be down on the elbows. It's just about finding what feels best for you. And then we're just going to spend a few breaths here. Coming out of it, we'll press up onto our palms if we're not already there. Taking the left hand on the outside of the left foot, we're going to walk our left foot across the mat and find pigeon pose. In pigeon pose, the goal is to have the shin parallel to the top of your mat, but you may find that flexibility is limited through the hip, in which case it's perfectly fine to allow that foot to come back, to trail back to where it's comfortable for you, so that you can be up on the leg for pigeon. So we'll start in a nice high pigeon. Again, with the quad stretch option, you can reach back with one hand or both. And then releasing that foot. I'd like you to find the depth of pigeon that's comfortable for you. So you might be on the palms, you might walk your hands out, you might be on the elbows, or you might be all the way forehead to the floor. Just finding what works for you today. Pigeon is one of the more difficult yoga postures for most people. We store a lot of our emotions in our hips. We store a lot of energy in our hips. And as such, this can be a very uncomfortable pose. Again, one of the best things about yoga, one of the greatest things that I have learned through my personal practice, through recovering from injury, from having herniated discs in my L4, L5, L5S1, is that one of the greatest lessons from yoga is just learning to find comfort in discomfort. And I think that we are in a particular chapter of our lives right now that's very much a time to find comfort in discomfort. So finish breathing through pigeon. We're going to press back up onto our palms, curling the right toes underneath. We'll kick that left foot back out to the sky, three-legged down dog. Really stretching it out here. Returning it to the mat, downward facing dog. Whew. Taking both of our heels toward the floor, if not to the floor. You can soften one knee and straighten the other. Let's roll up through the spine, high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Rooting through the right foot, take the left heel to the sky. Sweeping it through to a runner's lunge. Shifting the weight to the side, low side lunge. Standing straddle split. Pausing here for just a moment. Allowing your hands to ragdoll. Before shifting your weight over the right leg, low side lunge. And then right leg runner's lunge. Rooting our hands into the mat. Take the right foot to the sky. Three-legged down dog. Pointing and flexing the foot. Reaching as high as you can. Before bringing the knee to the chest and planting the foot between the palms. From here, we're going to repeat the same practice. So dropping the left knee down, uncurling the left toes. We'll press up into dragon. If you'd like to add the quad stretch, reaching back to take the left foot with the left hand or with both hands. And releasing back to dragon if you're not already there. Shifting palms to the inside of the right foot. You can let the right knee fall out on the outer blade edge of the right foot. And again, find the position that's the most comfortable for you when it comes to doing a lizard. So again, palms, hands out just in front, down to the elbow, whatever works for you personally. And we'll take a few breaths here. Pressing back up onto the palms, we'll bring the left hand on the outside of the left foot and walk the left foot across for pigeon pose. Again, finding the depth of pigeon that's comfortable for you. We'll start in a king pigeon, chest is high, reaching back with the left foot, or left hand to grip the left foot. Releasing the back foot. And then walking your palms out to the pigeon depth that's comfortable for you. Either palms, elbows, or forehead. Whatever you may need tonight. It's important to note that our bodies are different from side to side, so you may find that you're able to get this shin up closer to the top of the mat on one leg. You may find that you are more comfortable in a deeper stretch on one side. Again, that just depends on what kind of work you've done. What leg is your dominant leg? How much tightness you have in your hips, varying from side to side. It might depend on past injuries. So there's a lot of reasons why we might find that we're more flexible on one side than another. The big goal here is to stretch it but not force it. So you want to find the point where your body adds a little resistance, but never to the point where it's painful. And we never ever want to jerk ourselves into a motion. So if we're trying to get down and you just really want your forehead on the floor, it's not about forcing it down. It's about slowly working toward it over time. Alright, that's probably enough pigeon. So we're going to push our palms into the floor, curling the left toes underneath as we take the right heel to the sky. Three-legged down dog. You can bend that knee or straighten the leg, and then we'll bring it back to meet the left on the floor for downward facing dog. Again, shifting your weight, straightening one leg, softening the other, releasing any tightness you may have gained in the posterior chain. And then rooting through the left foot, we'll take the right heel back to the sky, three-legged down dog, before bringing the knee into the chest, planting the foot between the palms for a runner's lunge. Shifting our weight, low side lunge, and then coming into a standing straddle split. We're going to take a few minutes here in this standing straddle split, so go ahead and get comfortable. You might need to support yourself by placing your hands on the floor or on your thighs. I mean, you might be here, you might be here. It's really about finding the level of comfort that feels right for you and your body today. But I would encourage you to let your head be a bowling ball on the end of your spine. Let it weigh heavy. Shake the head yes, and nod the head no. We'll inhale, taking our hands to the sky from here. Exhale, interlacing our fingers behind our low back, like this. Adding a chest expansion. Gazes up toward the sky. And as we exhale, we'll swan dive, forward fold. Allowing those hands to fall overhead if comfortable. Stretching through the shoulders and the chest. Inhaling back up against the ceiling. Exhale, sunflower. So bending at the knee, low squat. Scraping the ground with our fingertips. Inhaling up. Exhale, moonflower. Nice and wide, pulling our shoulder blades together in the back. Inhale up. Exhale, swan dive. Forward fold. Walking our hands to the right foot. Noticing where the stretch changes in the hamstring and then the inner leg. And walking to the left foot. Returning through center. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Hands to the sky. Exhale, sunflower, that low squat. Scraping the mat with our palms. Inhaling up. Exhaling, moonflower, pinching the shoulder blades back. Inhaling up. And exhale, moving into moonflower. Extending our hands out for goddess. And if it's comfortable for you and you'd like to add a balanced posture, pressing up onto the toes. Releasing the toes to the floor, hands to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Before sweeping over the left foot into a low side lunge. Rotating for runner's lunge. Planting our hands, we'll take our left foot back to meet the right, high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Bending at the knees, hop, step, or walk to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Up to the ceiling. Exhale, sitting back into chair. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive. Planting the hands, walking the feet out so that they're wide on the mat as we move into a low yogi squat. And then using your hands to brace yourself, we'll sit back on the mat, extending our feet out into staff pose. Spine is nice and straight. Inhale up and exhale into a forward fold. Again, leading with the chest, always, always reaching with the chest before allowing the head to fall last. Inhale up. Exhale, bringing the knee into the chest as we roll back, rocking gently from side to side. Taking the heels to the sky for waterfall. We'll point through our heels, flexing the foot, and drawing a figure 8 or an infinity symbol with our feet. Releasing the right foot to the floor, left foot to the sky. We'll interlace our fingers behind the left thigh, at the shin, at the ankle, or creating a bind between your index and middle finger with your big toe. Releasing the right arm to the floor, we'll use the left to guide the foot out to the left side. Again, here your hand may be on your foot, on your ankle, or on the thigh. Doesn't matter, we just want to keep the legs straight and focus on letting the hips open. Here, both our hips and our shoulder blades are all rooted on the floor. So, if we're here, if we're here, if we're here, all of these are excellent positions as long as you feel that stretch. Bringing the foot back through center, we'll switch our grip, taking the left leg with the right arm this time, and guiding it across our body for a supine spinal twist. Allow your gaze to fall out over the left arm, extend it out into a T. Again, we want to let gravity do the work here, so wherever this leg may be, it might be here, here, or all the way over. It's about finding what works for you. Yoga is very, very much about the journey and not just completing a posture. You never really master it. You're always growing. So it's exciting to see when you've gained a little bit of extra space, gained some length, gained some stretch, but it's always variable. Taking the left foot back to the ceiling, we're going to bring the right foot to meet it. Again, drawing that figure 8. Releasing the left foot down to the mat, we'll take the right heel to the sky. Again, creating that bind either behind the thigh, the calf, the ankle, or by interlacing the pointer and middle finger around the big toe. Sending the left arm out to a T, let the right arm guide the right leg down wherever it's comfortable, wherever you have both hips on the floor, both shoulder blades on the floor. Gaze over the left shoulder. Bringing it back through center.
We'll switch our grip.